back to the YouTube channel Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 1 tips for 2022. First of all, how good is it? The footy's back. It's been a long 4 months or 5 months since we've seen some footy. It's been a long time since we've experienced a bit of NRL again. It's just that. I just want to say congratulations to everyone that's got through the long pre-season. Obviously it's not easy getting through a long pre-season with no footy and just, other stuff that's going on that we're not all interested in, because obviously footy means more than any other sport in Australia. No, I might be joking, but it's just, obviously, I love NRL. I'm sure we all do, and it's just good it's back. That's the main thing. The footy's back, and can't be more happy than that. But before I start, just want to say, if you're new to the channel, I would hope you can subscribe. Currently at 1,449 subscribers, so just at one sub away from getting to the 1,450 mark. So if I can get there by even today or at least during sometime this week, that would mean a lot. But anyway, time to get into my tips. So it's a blockbuster for round 1. It's the very big game. It is my team, the Sea Eagles, take on the Panthers at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith. So my tip for this game. So yeah, Manly versus Panthers, the first game to kick off the season. Obviously a very good game to kick off the season as well. Looking forward to it, obviously, because it's my team versus the reigning premiers, so it should be a good battle for us, especially. Going for the Panthers team, so look, seems to be the same, except for Isaac Tago, who starts in the centres. I believe he'll be the new centre starting this year for the Panthers, so he's won that centre spot. And obviously the big news this afternoon is that Nathan Cleary's been ruled out for the next 3 rounds because of injury, so Sean O'Sullivan starts at halfback. But other than that, the forward pack, the bench looks like it's pretty much the same for Panthers. No other changes really to report there. As for Manly, the back line really picks itself, to be honest, and nothing to really go through there. As for the forward pack, it's a bit interesting. Toff Sipley starts in the front row instead of Kepi and Paseka, which I find very interesting, actually, because Kepi and Paseka named on the bench instead. And Haumole Olakau'atu, the back rower, he's been named to play so far, but I guess the club will assess him during the weekend, and he may not play, but I guess they'll assess him during the week and see how he picks up and how he goes at training, despite the injury of his elbow. But we'll see. And on the bench, it's Tolu Kula, the young 19-year-old superstar sprinter. He'll be on the bench to make his NRL debut. So I really am looking forward to that, so I can't wait. For this game, I will be backing my boys because obviously it's round 1, backing my team. People will call me biased, but there's no Cleary for Panthers, and obviously when they lose Cleary, I guess that's a lot taken away from their attack. I know they've gone well without Cleary before, but I just think we'll be hungry for it. I think we're pretty much at full strength despite Schuster, Walker, and Aloye. So other than that, this team should be good enough to still compete with Penrith and maybe get a win, hopefully. So I'll tip us to win by about 4 points to win. On to the next game, the first of 2 on the Friday. It is the Raiders versus the Sharks at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Going through the Raiders team, so obviously we know Jamal Fogarty's out for 4 months due to an injury he picked up at training. So Brad Schneider, the young halfback, will start in the halves with Jack Wyden. James Shillier will make his NRL debut in the centres, so looking forward to seeing how he goes. Papali'i and Tarpany are starting front rowers for the Raiders, and Adam Elliott makes his club debut off the bench for the Raiders. So other than that, the team looks pretty much the same, actually. Jared Croker's been dropped by the club, actually, as well, which I'm very shocked about. So that's why Shillier will start in the centres, because Croker's going to play New South Wales Cup, which I'm very surprised about. Onto the Sharks team. The Sharks team looks pretty much full strength from what it looks like. Ronaldo Mulatalo will start in the centres with Matt Cavallo on the wing. The halves are Matt Boyle and Nico Hines. Keen to see how that goes. Dale Finucane starts at lock because Cameron McInnes is injured. And Finucane is taking over the captaincy as well. So I think he'll do a good job in that sort of role, being the captain. And other than that, it seems to be the team that is expected to be mostly picked for the Sharks as well. So there's no really other changes I can think of there. But for this game, I will tip the Sharks to win. I think if Canberra had Jamal Fogarty playing and I think Canberra can win, but I just think Sharks look a bit stronger for me. I think Hines will have a big game. I think Will Kennedy will have a big game. I just think they'll be the better side in the end. But it'll be very close. It'll be one of those really tight, gritty games, I think, in Canberra. So this one should be a good one. So I will tip Sharks to win by about 8 points. Now the main game on the Friday, it is the Broncos versus the Rabbitohs at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. So this is a pretty big game, but it would have been bigger if Adam Reynolds was playing, but he's ruled out because of COVID. So this means that for the Broncos to start off with, their halves are Billy Walters and Albert Kelly for the game. Solon Cobbo is on the wing, and Tony Staggs returns to the Broncos because of injury, and Jamal Sarko at fullback. Cam Palacio starts at prop, which is interesting. But other than that, the forward pack's the same. And Tyron Roberts, the one that used to play for the Knights and the Titans, starts off the bench in jersey 17 for the Broncos, which I find very interesting, actually. As for the Rabbitohs now, the Rabbitohs team is pretty much the same as expected, except Tane Milne starts on the wing with the also the centres of Jackson Pullo and Campbell Graham. And then moving on to the forward pack. The forward pack's the same as well. This pretty much picks itself. And, that's really it for the Souths, actually. So, the halves are Cody Walker and Lachlan Ilias. That's very interesting, actually, to see how they go against the Broncos. Look, for this game, I just think Souths look stronger. Obviously, Reynolds is out. That's a pretty big blow. Tessie New, their main fullback's out as well. So, they do lose a bit of attack and that, the Broncos. But, I just think Souths a bit more trustworthy at tip. I think Souths are a bit more of a better trusted team than Tip, and I think they'll be better on the day, I think. So I think they'll win off the back of Cody Walker's brilliance, I reckon. And Blake Taft will go well at fullback as well in the absence of Latrell Mitchell. So Souths win by about 10 points, I reckon. They'll be a bit too good. Moving on to Super Saturday, it is the Roosters versus Knights at the SCG at 3 p.m. So I'm going for the Roosters team. It's looking very strong, by the way. They've got, Joseph Manu returning from injury, starting in the centres. Paul Momirovski and Connor Watson make their club returns this week as well. Momirovski in the wing, and Connor Watson starts a hooker. Luke Keary's back from his long stint of injury, so he starts in the halves with Sam Walker. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. And no real other changes right there. And Billy Smith, the Billy Smith young centre, starts in the centres as well. As for the Knights, seems like Adam Clune's going to start a halfback, so that's going to happen now. Dane Gagai starts. Unfortunately, this afternoon, Daniel Saifidi got injured with a small fracture in his left tibia, so he has to get surgery apparently. So Jacob Saifidi starts at prop, and making his NRL debut off the bench, it's Leo Thompson. So that's the only other changes there for the Knights. In this game, I think Roosters will win. They'll be way too good, I reckon. They always win the SCG, and their side looks very scary. So I think they'll be a bit too good for Newcastle. So I'm going to tip Roosters to win by about 16 points on Saturday. Now the second game on the Super Saturday, it is the Dragons versus the Warriors at Sunshine Coast Stadium up in the Sunshine Coast. So both teams look pretty solid on paper. So going for the Warriors team first. Chanel Harris starts at fullback, which is very interesting because Reece Walsh is obviously suspended. Sean Johnson makes his return for the Warriors for the first time in 4 years, so he starts at halfback with Cody Nikorima at 5'8". Viliami Valia starts in the centres, and Aaron Penne will make his club debut off the bench, while Jazz Devaga, Ben Merck-Masila, and Bailey Sirenin all start as well. As for the Dragons have started Tyrell Sloan and Talatau Moan at both fullback and 5'8", which is good to see. Moses Sully will make his club debut alongside Aaron Woods, Francis Mollo, and Jaden Sewer, Moses Zembai, and Jack Kazeski, all making the club debuts for the Dragons. George Burgess and Tarek Sims have been left out for some reason, so they're not playing. But either way, it's a very strong team by the Dragons, and I like how the team's been put together. In this game, though, I will tip the Dragons to win as well. I think Dragons look stronger on paper for me. I don't mind Warriors team, but it's just that I think in terms of the backline, I think Dragons is a backline I rate more than the Warriors just because of experience-wise and who's playing where and everything. So I think Dragons will get the win just. It'll be like a narrow sort of win. I think Dragons will win, by about 12 points, but it won't be like an amazing win, though. It'll be a win that was just enough. So Dragons win by about 12 on Saturday. Now, the last game of Super Saturday, it is the West Tigers versus the Melbourne Storm at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. Go through the ins and outs and the changes and what the team's like for the Tigers just quickly. So Jackson Hastings, Oliver Gilder, and Tyrone Peachev will all make their club debut officially for the Tigers. Hastings starts at 5'8" with Luke Brooks in the halves, and Gilder starts in centres and Tyrone Peachev on the interchange, which I thought he'd be starting at lock, but not the case. Jake Simpkins starts a hooker. James Tarmo is suspended, so Alex Twal starts, and that's about it. For the Storm, Ryan Papenhuyzen's been named to play, which is pretty big news for the Storm. So Papenhuyzen's to play, and Nick Meaney's been named at 5'8", which I'm keen to see how he goes with Munster missing. And Brandon Smith's been named to play as well, which I really am concerned about because he shouldn't be playing, but he's anyway. And Xavier Coates will make his club debut with Nick Meaney and Josh King. For this game, I hope Tigers win because, it's been a long time since the Storm lost around one game, and it would be good to see the Tigers pull off an upset. I think there's a chance that Tigers can do well, but I think Storm will be a bit too good in the end. I think Storm's class will get them home with Hughes and Papenhuyzen playing, so there might be a bit too much for the Tigers. So I will tip the Storm to win by about, I'll go to Storm by about 14 points, but, I think Tigers will be competitive early, I think. Moving on to Sunday footy, it is the Eels versus Titans at Combank Stadium as well. Going for the Eels team, so Sean Russell starts the wing for the injured Mike Acevo, Will Penasini, Wagga Blake and Bailey Simonson make up the wing and centre pairings. As for the forward pack, Ryan Madison starts starts at lock for Nathan Brown, and in the back row, Sean Lane starts with Isaiah Papali'i, and other than that, that's the team for the Eels. Jake Arthur on the bench. And for the Titans, obviously Brimson and Sexton start the halves together, and Evan Clark at hooker, and Will Smith plays against his old club, starting at jersey 14. And other than that, the team looks like it's pretty much 1 through 17. In this game, I will tip Parramatta to win fairly well because it's at their home ground. I think Parramatta will like to start the year on a big win at Parramatta. So I think they should win by about 22 points, I think. I reckon they'll have a big win over the Titans. They should be a bit too good, I think. So Eels should win by 22. Now wrapping up the final game of round 1, it is the Bulldogs versus the Cowboys at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. Going for the home team side first, the Cowboys. Obviously, the backline picks itself with Hamisa being a fullback and the halves being Deedon Townsend, and the rest teams be the same. Lukey and Nanai start as a back row as well. Jason Tamalolo has been free to play at lock. And really, other than that, that seems to be the team for the Cowboys. So, and Chad Townsend, Peter Hiku, Jermaine Suma-Brown will all make their club debuts for the Cowboys. As for the Bulldogs, Matt Duffy, Adokar, Naden, you can go on and on. Vaughan, Burden, Pangai Jr., Max King, Brandon Burns will all make their club debuts for the Bulldogs. Brandon Burns actually starts in the centres for Aaron Shop, so he's obviously been Aaron Shop for a spot there. Avrillo still keeps his spot at halfback, so we'll see how Avrillo goes at halfback again. And Jane Ockenball starts the wing as well, so Ockenball's got a lot to prove. He wants to stay in that wing spot after his dismal trial performances. And that's really the only changes there for the Bulldogs. In this game, it's pretty tough to pick because both teams are very similar coming into this year. Both of them don't really have the biggest expectation this year, but we'll see how both these teams go. But it's tough, but I think, I will tip the Bulldogs to win. I think the Bulldogs will get a slight win here. I just think, Duffy will go well. I just think the team will click. I think Burton and Averillo will go a bit better. I think just the squad in general will go better as well. I think Cowboys will turn up, but I don't know. If the Bulldogs team on paper looks this good, then hopefully they can replicate the same form in the field. But, we'll see. I mean, they're bad enough in trials. But, I think Bulldogs will just win just based on looking at both sides. But anyway, that's my round 1 tips for 2022. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you all in the very next one. And Bulldogs to win by 6 points.